Hey, Red Eye fans. So I decided to do a 6-week review on the belt squat. Somebody had a comment and asked about what my thoughts were. So I was going to give a quick review on this and kind of how my diet's going. So as far as the belt squat's concerned, it seems to be working just fine. I mean, there's not a lot to it. You have the ball bearings at all the hinge points. You have some of these weight pegs that are bolted on. I'm not putting 1,000 pounds on here, so if you're somebody who's really going to be weighing this down, I'm probably not the best person to review it, but I can't see what could really go wrong. I'm going to assume that a heavy weight is going to hold up just fine with this unit. I can tell you for my own experience. Now I'll give you a little bit of history on my own training. So I've been training for about 5 years. I would say the majority of my training years, I have squatted 3 times a week, usually in the 5 rep range or lower. So when I got this, and I was usually a wider stance, low back squat. So of course my stance is wider, my toes are turned out a lot of the time, and using a lot more of the postural chain. I'm not going to get into all that. So, but when I bought this, I decided to narrow my stance a little bit and try and work on the thighs a little bit more. And I can tell you that 100 pounds with this, me trying to do 3 sets of 10, is difficult. Part of that might be the fact that my rep ranges have always been low, and now I'm trying to do something in a higher rep range. 10 reps is a lot for me. So for you might not have the same situation. I can tell you the first couple times that I did the belt squat, I was pretty sore, and it wasn't really, I wouldn't call it muscle sore. It was just more achy. I think just because I wasn't used to the movement. And I think when I was first doing it, I was doing 50 pounds, and now I just recently went up to 100 this last session. It felt pretty good. Now, the movement is a little bit funny because I have to kind of put my feet back a little bit, and I feel like I'm laying into the belt. You know what I mean? Like I could just stand up and I could just rest, and I would be putting some weight against the machine. So to be honest with you, when I'm using the machine, and this is kind of a hard thing to explain. I thought I would get more of a pump. I thought I would feel it in the thighs a lot more, or in the glutes. And I'm sure of course I'm using those muscles, but I'm not getting quite the pump that I thought I would, especially in the 10 rep range. I thought after doing 3 sets of 10, I would have a pretty good pump, and I really haven't had that. So I don't know. I might try and change up my foot placement a little bit, because when you're doing the movement, you could have your feet probably forward a little bit more, back a little bit more, and it seems like it really changes. Of course, it changes the feel of the movement. So I'm still kind of getting used to it, but the unit itself is solid. I have no problems, nothing to complain about there. But then again, I've only loaded down with 100 pounds, and I think if you remember on my first video, I talked about how this weight correlates to your squat a little bit better. So when I say that I'm doing 100 pounds and I'm doing 3 sets of 10, and I'm pretty worn out when I get done with it. If I did 100 pounds in the squat, that would be easy for me. I mean, I could do 135 with a squat pretty easily for sets of 10. So this does change it. But give it some more time. Maybe in 6 months of using it more, I might feel a little bit differently about that. And I'm also going to be honest with you. A lot of times when I go to do my training, I always squat, I always deadlift, and sometimes when I get those things done, I don't do my accessories. So I might skip my belt squat, or I'll skip my reverse hyper, just because I don't have time. But it is a good unit. But I am going to say, bells of steel. You hear people complaining about Titan. Bells of steel. The unit's fine, but like I said, the packaging wasn't good. There was parts hanging out of it. I still haven't gotten my t-shirt. Their customer service, they answer you, but the problem is they don't do anything. I still don't have my t-shirt. When I went to order the unit, it was supposed to come in like August or something, and then they called and said it's going to be another few weeks or a month or whatever. It ended up being a 2 weeks to a month later. So I got to be honest, it just doesn't seem like they have it together there. They don't know when their stuff's coming in. It doesn't ship on time. They don't have it. So I'm really not happy with that. The quality of the unit's fine. The shipping wasn't that great. Like I said, it's scratched up, pieces hanging out. So if you're one of those people who gets angry about that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to want to buy this unit. I got to be honest with you, Titan does a better job than they do, in my opinion, as far as shipping. And I would say, when I say shipping, I mean getting it here on time. Titan does a better job. As far as shipping goes, there'll be stuff hanging out of Titan stuff just like here, but I don't really get hung up in that stuff. The price of the unit when I bought it was on sale. I like that. I like the ball bearing hinges compared to the Titan, which doesn't have the ball bearing hinges or at the pivot points. So you'll have to decide that. The powder coating's fine. The strength of the unit's fine. Getting used to the movements, that's just something, if you've used a belt squat, you probably know this better than I do, how to belt squat and how it's going to feel. This is my first belt squat I've ever had, and I'm still getting used to foot placement, and I'm probably getting maximal training out of it. All right, so let's go on to my diet. So I've been on my diet, I didn't even look. It's been probably 3-4 weeks now. When Nathan Payton first put me on the diet, I lost a whole bunch of weight the first week. I lost 8 pounds like that. And then he slowed it down, started putting some cheat meals in, slowed it down. Then I probably lost 3 pounds a week. And then he added some more cheat meals, and I was down to about 1 pound a week. Not really sure why he is slowing the weight loss down, but I do enjoy my cheat meals, probably too much. I eat so much with my cheat meals, I have a hard time sleeping sometimes because I get indigestion or whatever. I'm trying to think of some other things. So I would say the first week I probably felt a little weak, but then the second week he put in a couple cheat meals, and that Sunday I had a great training session. I mean, I just had a killer pump. My energy was great. I hit a pretty decent 10-pound PR on my incline bench. Now, remember, this is while cutting, and so I was pretty excited about that. This week, I would say that my energy wasn't quite the same, but I think I was probably pretty sore from hitting that PR, because I hit that PR after I had loaded on calories, hit the PR, and then, of course, went back to my Monday through Friday schedule, which is the diet itself at a reduced caloric intake. And I don't know if I recovered as well, because then I got to Saturday to go train, and I was just doing the bench press at, I think it was 80% for sets of 3, and it felt really heavy, and I was really sore. So Saturday night, I really killed it with the eating, and Sunday with my lower body routine, I actually felt pretty good. I didn't get to do all my training because Sundays are just busy, church and all the other things that I have going on. All right, well, I just wanted to give a quick review of what was going on here, because somebody commented and asked about the unit. Like I said, it's a pretty decent unit. I would recommend anybody to get it. If you've belt squatted before, you'll probably get more. You probably know how to use it better than I do, but it's pretty simple. I mean, you put the belt on, latch it, squat to depth. I have been using, let me show you this. I have been loading basically with the 25-pound plates, just to make sure that with the 45s, if I get low enough, they will touch the floor. And I haven't really tried to adjust the belt to remedy that. You probably could remedy that with just by adjusting the belt, but I have plenty of 25s, and I'm not going that heavy anyways, and they've been working fine. They have the hole here in the platform, which I haven't needed because I just haven't needed it. Anyways, so everything's going good. I'm on track with I've been meeting all his goals as far as my weight loss has been going. He says he's going to turn me loose on Thanksgiving to chow down. He wanted me down to 239. This Wednesday, I weighed myself Friday. I was 239, but I've had my 3 cheat meals this week. And when he gives me a cheat meal, I take advantage of it. So I'm curious if I'm going to be back down to 239 by Wednesday, because I weighed myself, I think this morning I was at 241 or 242. And he tells me, you should only weigh yourself on Wednesdays. But I like to weigh sometimes just to kind of see what's going on and what my body's doing. And I'll eat something and then weigh myself the next day and kind of see what happens. So that I can kind of plan and think, okay, am I going to meet my goal or not? I would also say that I've been following the diet reasonably well. I have done some cheating, like with the fruits. He'll say just eat a banana or just eat a grape or something. Well, or a cup of a certain fruit, and I might do a mixture, because he'll say a cup for this and a cup for that. Well, I might do a half of that one and a half of this one to equal a cup. I don't know that that's a big deal to him, but I've been doing that. Sometimes I'll eat a couple extra pieces of fruit or something like that. The timing of meals is really the hardest thing for me, keeping that timing straight, because I'll get in a meeting or have something going on, I can't stop, and he wants me eating every so many hours, and it'll stretch further, and then I'll get into the night, and then I'll have to get those meals a little bit closer than what he calls for to get all my meals in. So I'm still struggling to get the timing down. The portions seem to be fine. I do get hungry sometimes, but in all, it's not too bad. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you meeting with me tonight. I like the unit. I like my diet. I'm losing weight. I'm maintaining my strength, and life is good. All right, so after I stopped filming, I did think about something that I would like to see different on this unit. I don't think it's a huge deal, but this handle is thin. I really wish this was thicker. And it wouldn't stop me from buying it, but it would be nice if this handle was a little bit thicker when you're squatting. It just feels a little thin. It's plenty strong. You're not going to bend it, you're not going to break it. It's not flimsy. But it would just be nice to have something a little bit more beefy in your hand. Some stock like this, some around 2-inch stock for the handle would be kind of nice. I would say that's probably the only negative thing I would have to say about it. Well, other than I talked about in the first video, the platform being a little out of whack, maybe not being exactly flat, and having to put some rubber mats in there to kind of build it up to keep everything so that it doesn't rock. No, that's really about it. But after, like I said, at 6 weeks of use, there's not really a whole lot to say about it. Deck's not slippery. It's a nice unit. Have no problem with it. Bills of steel, you need to work on your shipping and following through. Other than that, it's good.